So I feel like there are words that can describe what you're talking about that have slightly different meanings that are very popular in other paradigms. Words like faith, love, healing. I hear those words describing self-development, and I'm wondering why those words are not used in our Tai Chi system.
Well, I mean, there is a whole there are internal worlds existing simultaneously with the external worlds, and when the brain consciousness attempts to describe or ascribe to these internal worlds certain words, certain ideas, certain conditions, it's not the exact truth. So these words are not the exact truth. It's the brain consciousness of people attempting to describe it from an external point of view. So faith comes across as you in your brain consciousness have to sort of like believe that there's something beyond that, something that's helping you and so on. That's looking at it from the outside. This is really, it's really the unconscious evolution of humanity that's a part of. Because the conscious humanity is, you need to penetrate with your mind into the inner levels. And then you don't have faith on what is there. You know what's there. Mm-hmm. So the faith is a belief from the external on the internal. And that can help people, but it's a part of the unconscious evolution, not the direct conscious evolution that's necessary for individuals to raise themselves quickly up. And so love is something similar. It's a similar type of thing. It's trying to define or do something with the outer mind that's presumed to be like the condition that actually exists on an inner level. So if you were to take yourself into the inner levels on one, to some degree or other, then the interconnectedness of people, for example, the interconnectedness of people or certain groups of people would become very clear. And just like a mother has like love, instinctive love for their children, then when you felt that interconnectedness, there would be a natural similar thing on that level. So it's not something that you think about from the outside and try to create love or imagine love on something. It's something that would be instinctively obvious and felt if you were in on that level. I'm just trying to describe the difference between ascribing qualities from the outside and attempting to duplicate them, to have faith, to have love, to be healing and so on, as opposed to taking yourself into the inner levels or attempting to do it, bringing your mind down to that level and beginning to work truly on those levels where you might say healing takes place, where love appears, where there's not exactly faith because it's you're absolutely clear that these things are existing. Mm-hmm. What someone on the outside might have is faith. Enough.
Okay, big picture. Why are people born to work on their spiritual development? What's it all about?
Well, when the picture becomes too big, it's too big for a human mind to appreciate. There are bigger pictures than the human mind can manage. So we have to bring it down to a picture that we can, my human mind, while you're in a body. So we don't know that, nobody knows the ultimate purpose of life. Not even the good teachers who've lived for 100 years or more that I know, and some of the teachers have lived for 100 years or more. They don't know the ultimate purpose. They know beyond what I know. And some of them I knew over 30, 40 years. After 30, 40 years, they knew more than what they did when I first met them. But the ultimate purpose of life we can't quite be sure about. We can only know what is, and that is certainly that beings do come onto the earth, and this is the condition that we've been given, and these are the conditions that we accept. And when you come onto the earth, as one of my teachers said, a veil is drawn across your eyes, and that's a condition of life. In accepting, we forget our past lives, we forget what the truth is on the inner levels, and that places us, here's why, from my point of view, that places us in a tremendous struggle with the forces of outer life, with the body, in ourselves, the body and the brain consciousness, which people think is everything, it's just nothing, in ourselves, and all of the forces of outer life, these big forces, the governments, the legal system, the medical system, the financial system, all of these big things that push everybody around. So, in order to develop yourself, a very big struggle is created between this small thing inside you, small real thing, and this big, less real thing. And so that intense struggle to survive and grow produces, the intensity of the struggle produces an accelerated development. So once out of a body and back where you can see the external conditions and the veils are pulled aside up to a point, the intensity of the struggle drops right away, and the resulting growth is very, very small and slow compared. So this is a place where people can accelerate their growth. That's why these difficult conditions are here.
To encourage us to...
It's a place of struggle.
And we need that struggle to develop.
A bigger struggle causes a bigger growth, that's right. I mean, everybody knows that you put a child in very easy conditions where they don't have to struggle at all. They've got plenty of money, they don't have to work, they don't have to do anything, and see what happens as they become a teenager and grow to an adult. And then you place another child in the conditions where they barely have enough food, they have to struggle, they want to be educated, they've got to walk 30 kilometers to school or something, and that child grows in a completely different way.